Hi guys, and welcome to my movie wrap-up for December. It is incredibly late for this video. I know, I am sorry. Life things have happened and have kept me from filming. I'm gonna work on not having these videos be late every single month this year. That is one of my goals. But for right now, I am late with this one, and we are going to talk about some movies that I watched in December. Now, since December is Christmas time, I usually like to watch Christmas romance movies, like, you know, the Christmas cheesy movies. So I will put those separate from the normal videos that I watched. So I'll put timestamps down below as to when the regular movie review starts. That way you can skip the cheesy Christmas movies if you do not want to see that. I will try not to review them for too long because they're cheesy and they're going to be the same plot over and over. But first let's start with the Christmas movies that I rewatched this year. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Home Alone and Home Alone 2, The Polar Express, A Christmas Carol, The Muppet Christmas Carol, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Holiday, The Spirit of Christmas, and Love Actually. So now I was planning on watching a lot more cheesy Christmas movies this year, but I only ended up watching 3, which is very upsetting. The first one, Mingle All the Way. This was a brand new Hallmark cheesy Christmas romance movie, and I loved this one. We follow a woman who is starting a dating app, but this app is more for like career people who don't really need the romance. They just need a date to some like office party to help get them a promotion, or if they need to bring a date to a family function to be like, yes, I am dating someone, mom, even though you're not. And it's just, yeah, it's for that kind of a thing. But she needs to test it out, so she puts herself on the app and she gets set up with this guy who she has already met and already hates. They end up just pretending to date each other and go to all these different like parties with each other. And of course they end up falling in love. It's a romance. But it was so great. I loved it. First of all, I love the 2 actors in it. I've seen them both in other Christmas romance movies and I love them. Any Christmas movie that they're in, I'm going to watch it. So, very happy to see these 2, and they actually had really great chemistry together, so enjoyed it. It was very cheesy, and of course I love that when it comes to Christmas romance movies, so the cheese was good. Loved it. There isn't really much to say about these types of movies, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say. I loved this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Then I watched The Christmas Prince: A Royal Wedding, which is the sequel to The Christmas Prince, which I loved The Christmas Prince. This one wasn't that great. We're following the wedding. As you can tell by the title, we're following the wedding of the couple from The Christmas Prince. But of course, conflict has to happen, so there is conflict. I semi-enjoyed it, but I'm definitely not gonna watch it ever again. I did not like this one that much. So I gave it 2.5 stars. And then the last one I watched was not actually really a cheesy romance Christmas movie. I thought it was, but it's not. It's called Call Me Klaus. It's got Whoopi Goldberg in it. It's about Whoopi Goldberg. She is like a mean producer. She doesn't have any Christmas spirit in her soul, but she has to hire a Santa for the things she's producing. And she actually ends up hiring the real Santa, and Santa is trying to convince her to become the next Santa. Whoopi Goldberg might have been the only part of this movie I actually liked. And Victor Garber too. I liked Victor Garber and I liked Whoopi Goldberg. Everybody else I didn't like, and I really did not like this story. I was so bored by this story. I didn't really like this one, so I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I wasn't gonna add this into the cheesy Christmas movie section, but I will, just because I feel like it might actually be considered a cheesy Christmas movie. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it here anyway because I don't feel like talking about it in the regular movies. But it's A Bad Moms Christmas. I watched Bad Moms. I loved Bad Moms. It was great. Bad Moms Christmas was not as good. Not as good at all. In A Bad Moms Christmas, we follow the moms, the same moms, but this time their moms come into the picture. So now we're getting the grandmas, and how they are trying to like take over the moms' lives in different ways. And of course this all takes place around Christmas time. It was okay. It was definitely not as good as Bad Moms. It wasn't as funny. It was very messily written. I did enjoy it though, don't get me wrong. I did actually enjoy it, but there was just a lot that was just like really overplayed or overdone. So I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Now on to the movies that I rewatched this month. There are not many. I rewatched Bad Moms, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. And that is it. Those are all of the movies I rewatched. Now let's talk about the new movies that I watched. The first one is a Christmas movie, but it's not heavy on the Christmas and it's not a cheesy movie. So that's why I put it in this section. But it is Anna and the Apocalypse. I really liked this movie a lot. We follow Anna. She's in high school, she's senior year, she's almost out of there, and she just can't wait to get out. So during Christmas time, the zombie apocalypse happens, and zombies are, of course, trying to kill everybody. But we follow a bunch of, like, different teenagers, like, different friend groups. We even follow some adults, and we follow people in, like, different areas and, like, how they're handling the zombie apocalypse. And it's also a musical. It's been described as Shaun of the Dead meets La La Land, and that's honestly perfect. That's exactly how I would describe this movie. I thought this was shot very well, and the songs are so catchy. So my favorite songs are Soldier at War and Hollywood Ending, which right there tells you, that song tells you it's not going to be a Hollywood ending with this movie. Which I kind of loved. I loved that it was an ending I did not expect. There was one part of the ending, as the ending was happening, I was like, I know what's about to happen, but they are taking their sweet time making that happen. But overall, did not expect a lot of things that happened in this movie. I also just love, okay, if you know me, if you've been watching these movies, you know I love movies that just make me feel every emotion. And this movie made me feel every emotion. I felt happy, I felt sad, I felt a little scared at times. I loved the characters as well. What I liked about the characters was they all started off very cliche to what character they're trying to portray. Like, very cliche. But then as the story progressed, they matured and grew out of that cliche, except for one character. And it's the one character that, like, I hate the most in this movie. Not because this character is supposed to be, like, the evil character, but because I don't think the character was written well, and I don't think the character was acted well. Which, by the way, the acting was great, except for this one character. I just really did not like this character. I really felt this character brought the movie down. This character could have been done so much better, but this character stayed his cliche throughout the entire movie, and kind of, like, his cliche got, like, more and more cliche as the movie went on, instead of growing out of the cliche. But I really enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the songs, I enjoyed, like, pretty much everything about this movie except for that one character. So I gave this movie 4 out of 5 stars. Then I watched The Favorite. Okay, I have the very unpopular opinion of hating this movie. I've had so many discussions talking, like, with other people talking about this movie and why I hate it. So I'm gonna try and make that super brief because my conversations with them have lasted like an hour. So I'm gonna try to make that super brief for you guys as to why I hate this movie. Let me actually start with the one thing I did like about the movie. The acting. I felt like it was acted very well. So, now on to the things I hate. I think the thing I hated the most about this movie was the music. The music was just always there, and it was always, like, loud and very, like, harsh. So it just felt very disjointed to me and just distracted me from the movie. And sometimes it gave me headaches because the music was just so awful. I also was not a fan of the story. The story was pretty much just about women being bitches to other women. It just made me angry watching it because of the story. I absolutely hated every single character, and I know that none of the characters are supposed to be likable, but when you make unlikable characters, there has to be something likable about them so that way you root for them and you want them to do well and you actually enjoy watching them even though they're horrible people. There are ways of doing that, and this movie did not do that. I hated every single character. I did not care what happened to any of these characters. I was like, they could all die and I will clap and be happy. Like, I don't want to watch these people because I don't care about them. I also didn't find it funny because this movie was, I think, also supposed to be funny. I didn't find it funny. I found one line funny. But the rest, I literally sat there with not even a smile on my face. Also, this one is more my taste, but for me, I felt like it was too vulgar. I don't mind nudity. Like, nudity is fine if there's a purpose for the nudity, and there was a purpose and a reason for the nudity. What I didn't like was the way that they, like, talked about sexual things and the way that they handled certain sexual things. It was just too vulgar for my taste. I also really did not like the look of the film as well. First of all, there were title cards that kept popping up in between the movie, and they bugged me, because they would take me out of the movie real quick and then put me back in, like, in a random spot. But also the title cards, they would, like, literally say, like, a line that's about to happen in the next scene, and that just kind of felt like it was ruining the scene for me. I also felt like the look of the film was weird to me. I mean, like, the lighting was nice, and, like, the scenery was nice, and the costumes were nice. I liked that. But I hate when movies do this. Not many movies do this, but this movie did it so obviously and so awkwardly that I hated it. But they changed lenses throughout the movie. Especially, like, they would use a different lens in the middle of a scene, and, like, it'd be a normal lens pretty much, like what you're watching here, and then it would change to, like, a fisheye, and then it would go back to, like, this normal, and I'm just like, why are we going to fisheye? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And they did that multiple times in the middle of scenes, in the middle of conversations with characters, and it was just, it was so distracting and so frustrating to watch. The dancing was really odd. I mean, I'm assuming the dancing was supposed to be odd, but I didn't like that the dancing was odd. I also hated the ending. Absolutely hated the ending. I'm gonna stop talking about this movie, but I really hated this movie a lot. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars, and that is only because the acting was good. The next movie I watched is Mary Poppins Returns. This is, I don't think it's it might be a sequel to Mary Poppins. Yeah, I think it's like a sequel. But with this one, obviously Mary Poppins comes back to help the Banks children, but this time the Banks children are grown up and they have kids of their own, and they're also about to lose their house. So it's like Mary Poppins comes in to try and, like, save the day, but she also takes the children for a lovely little adventure. This one was okay. It definitely had, whoa, sunshine. Sorry, sun just randomly came back. Anyway, this one was okay. I just didn't get the same feeling I had when watching Mary Poppins that I did with this one. I definitely thought they did a good job trying to recreate that, but it just wasn't quite there. I thought Emily Blunt did an amazing job as Mary Poppins, because that is a tough role to try and do, but she, I thought, did a really great job. As much as I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, I don't think this was quite the role for him. The story was pretty fun and whimsical, but I don't know, it just didn't have quite the same feel. The songs, too, did not have quite the same feel. Like, I don't remember a single song from the movie. It's not like those songs. Like, I feel like the songs in Mary Poppins Returns were trying to be like that, but I don't remember a single one of their songs, so none of their songs really resonated with me or hit me. It was just like an okay adaptation of Mary Poppins, but it was still enjoyable. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched is A Star is Born, the 70s version with Barbra Streisand. This one, my mom is gonna hate me, but I did not really like this one. I thought Bradley Cooper's version was way better than this one. As much as I do love Barbra Streisand, I don't think her and whatever the guy actor's name is, I don't think they had good chemistry. I felt like it was very well acted, but again, just the chemistry was lacking. I was also not a huge fan of, like, any of the songs in the movie. How they did the ending in this version was way more lighthearted to me. I don't know, maybe I'm just comparing it too much to Bradley Cooper's, but I don't know, the ending just didn't make me feel anything. Like, this movie didn't make me feel any emotions like Bradley Cooper's version made me feel. Like, I could watch Bradley Cooper's version, like, multiple times and I will still bawl my eyes out at the end. This one did not make me cry at all. It did not make me feel anything. It also just felt, like, too long. Like, it just felt like it went on for forever. However, I did really like the outfits. I like the costumes a lot. I would totally wear most of those outfits, so those were nice. So overall, it's not one I'll watch again, but I didn't hate watching it once. So I gave this movie 3 out of 5 stars. And the last movie I watched is Bandersnatch. This, okay, it's a Netflix movie. If you've watched the show Black Mirror, this is Black Mirror. They did a movie, they called it Bandersnatch. I don't watch Black Mirror. I've heard it's really good, and it probably is. I just know the show is not for me. I mean, I wasn't planning on watching anything that Black Mirror created, but this one just sounded so interesting, and I wanted to know how they were going to do it, because I have never seen a movie like this before. I've seen books like this, but I've never seen movies like this. Pretty much this was like a choose your own adventure movie. So you just pretty much chose whatever the main character was going to do next and see where it takes you. I heard there are 5 different endings. I'm happy with the ending that I got, but I do want to like watch it again and choose different options to see where it takes me. I don't even know how to describe the story of this movie. This guy is trying to create a video game, but he's like going insane as he's creating this video game because he's trying to choose a choose your own adventure video game. Well, we're choosing what he does. It was very interesting and very in-depth and thorough, and I really loved how they did it and they created it. There were times where it got a little confusing because they would like take you to a dead end and then take you back somewhere random and you'd have to like start all over again, but it was interesting. It was very fun too. Like, this is definitely a movie where you can get something different out of it every time you watch it, and I think it was very well done, and that's really all I have to say about it. I will say that with the ending I got, they didn't answer certain questions, but I feel like I have to watch other versions and choose other options to maybe get answers to those questions. Anyway, so really liked this. I highly recommend just giving it a go once, just for the experience of like choosing the own adventure thing. It's very fun. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely also watch my book wrap up for December as well as my life wrap up for December. I will be coming out with my top 10 movies of 2018. I have them, I have to film it. Like I said, all this stuff has been taking me forever. So those are coming as well. So stay tuned for those. And I will see you guys more with more videos.